Here we are.
Oh, hey, y'all.
The final
battle.
The ultimate. The end all. This is the last episode of Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. The last episode of our corrected audio thing, podcasting.
So we're dubbing over.
Thank you.
The old stuff.
Thank you for joining. Hope you're enjoying it. Let's do it. You think we're going to beat all these games?
Nope.
Backlog boys.
No, probably not.
The time is here.
Welcome.
The time is
back to the final episode of Fire Emblem Sacred Stones.
This is it. We're not ending this episode until credits.
Yeah.
You're going to see...
Or catastrophic failure.
Everything that there is to see for the rest of this game in this episode. So it's probably going to be a little bit longer than normal. Actually, I can promise you that it is because it's already been recorded.
Yeah, we know.
And we're re-recording the audio.
But stay tuned to find out just how long.
Yes, please do. Even though you can already see how long as well because there's a timestamp in the bottom of the video.
They know what they're getting into.
So Vaughn, we're playing Sacred Stones.
We are.
And I recently had an experience that made me think of Sacred Stones.
Okay.
I was just on the computer wasting time like I do, and I happened to pop over to the My Nintendo rewards site. You know, I just check in on it every so often because they rotate the rewards monthly, and you can get coins for doing various things. And I went to the page where they list, like, here are some ways you can earn coins, and it's usually like, you know, play this thing or whatever. But one of them was find all of the hidden such and such jewels on the Fire Emblem Warriors website. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I love when they like hide things on websites.
Yeah.
That are like hidden. And so I found the website and I went and started poking around all the different pages, and I found there's like this emblem that I guess is the emblem for Fire Emblem Warriors, and it has these 5
there's kind of like a
stones.
Something it takes the place of the Fire Emblem in each game.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. And there's these 5 stones that are all different colors, and your emblem is like empty, and you can see the 5 spots where the stones go.
Yep.
And you're like navigating to these different pages of the websites, and you'll just see one sitting there, and you'll click on it, and it's like, you found the blah 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 stone.
Oh, that's cute.
And it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm like looking at these different characters and whatnot.
Nima, get out of my hat, dude.
And then I went back to the Nintendo site, and sure enough, it had registered that I found them and gave me the coins. Oh, she's gonna lay on your hat.
Yeah.
That's fine.
She's very interested in what it has to offer.
Nima's been on a bit of a sock kick lately.
Does she destroy them or just
she just likes to carry them around.
Okay.
So like I'll wake up in the morning and there'll just be a one sock like out in the middle of the floor.
Rogue.
Yeah, just a rogue sock out in the middle of the floor that she has decided to pull out of the dirty laundry because it smells like me or Liz. And I'll just be like, hey, no, what are you doing? You know, and put it back in the hamper. But yeah, she's yet to destroy any of our clothing or any of our personal items.
That's pretty good.
The only major
Hope it stays that way.
Me too. The only major destructions that she has caused have been either to her own things,
toys,
and her 2 bed pads, unfortunately, as well, that have been repaired multiple times now. And then also she has just chewed on parts of the house.
Oh.
Just like random pieces of like crown molding.
Okay.
On like corners, which I've never seen a dog do before. But you're a special dog, Nima, aren't you?
Oh, she is.
She's just kind of pacing around the room right now.
She's not exactly sure what to do yet.
No.
She's been kicked out for the majority of this special session.
We usually don't have her in the studio when we're recording because she'll just get antsy and wonder why we're not petting her or playing with her. But she's pretty sleepy right now, so I'm hoping that she'll just kind of settle down after a minute and do some sleeping.
She just got that.
She's pretty good at that.
That 6th wind.
Yeah.
In her from Andy here now.
But she also doesn't really get to explore this room very often, so she kind of wants to
usually
explore.
off limits.
Well, usually when she's in here, I'm just sitting at my computer, and she's either just sitting right behind me, or I let her get up on the couch where we are right now and just sleep.
Was the end of the Sacred Stone story already there? The Fire Emblem Warriors?
Yeah, that was
site?
pretty much
Okay.
all I wanted to talk about, was that it reminded me of Sacred Stones because I was looking for these stones.
And usually, so like in Awakening, the Fire Emblem is like a shield, and it holds all of like what is essentially the Sacred Stones of that universe.
This
Where,
could
like,
have been that.
It could have been where it had like 5 slots and you fill them.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like a shield.
Okay.
But I don't remember what they called it.
I think they
Could have also
used
been
that
like a
mechanic
small,
more than
like,
once.
seal, or
Yeah.
it was hard to get a sense of scale for it.
Yeah, sometimes they just actually in the Fire Emblem you've played, Fire Emblem 7. The emblem is just like such an afterthought, but it still has to be there.
Oh, I
So
see.
it just like shows up at one point, but it's
The eponymous.
almost meaningless. Yeah, it's always got to be there, but
Yep.
the execution is sometimes hit and miss.
That's okay.
Yeah, we forgive it. Yeah, this. So I've been playing PUBG recently with Kyle,
Yes, you have been playing it.
and it's it's a game unlike most that I've played. It's certainly not my normal game or even genre or anything like that. But it's interesting because I feel like the game is super punishing, right? So like anytime you mess up, anytime you like aren't paying attention, the punishment can just be like instant failure. Like you're just
Yeah, it's a very like true to life.
yeah.
Like it's pretty accurate to like how things would go if that scenario existed in reality.
Yeah, like one miscalculation and you're just whoops, that's the game.
Yeah, you're dead. Except it's not a game and you're dead.
Yeah. But it's since it like pushes you to that kind of level. I've been playing it a lot with Kyle H from okay.
Oh god. Here comes the pup.
She's
Just
climbing up.
I don't care if I'm bigger. I don't care if I'm pushing the microphone out of the way. I'm going to lay on you.
A couple sniffs for good measure.
There we go. Neema's on the mic.
Oh. Yeah, hi girl. You are very cute, yeah.
Yeah.
But it like so I've been playing with Kyle H from Champions of Norath fame
And Fortune Street.
and Fortune Street. And it's funny because we don't have like a lot of games that have mutual overlap, but I just like bought it on a whim one day because it was cheaper than usual. And then kind of got into it and was like, do you have this? And he was like, yeah, I play it a lot.
Yeah, didn't you
and
say
it's-
he had like 400 hours in it?
Yeah.
God, that's insane.
And I didn't even know that it was like a thing for him, but like I just like message him if he has the game, and he says, yeah, I do. And I look at how long he's, you can like see it on their Steam profile, and he's got,
Yeah, and you're
he's
just like, Jesus.
like, oh, yeah, you know about this game.
Yeah. You've scratched the surface.
So it's funny because the game, having like stepped away and played a few other games, having had it long enough where I've like played other games since playing PUBG with Kyle, it like makes me better at other games.
Yeah, you were talking about this.
Yeah, so I played like Splatoon for the first time in a long time after having played a little bit of PUBG. And there's like things that I do or have learned to do in PUBG, like since you have to be so quick sometimes,
Yeah.
you can do this thing where you like peek, you kind of like lean and can just expose your head and
Yeah.
to like look around.
Yeah.
And what people will do is you'll have them pinned down behind something, but they'll change like where they're peeking to kind of throw you off. And so
Right.
sometimes what you'll do is you'll try to anticipate where they're going to be and just be ready right there.
Yeah.
And then before they even show their head, you'll shoot there, since there's like bullet travel time as a mechanic.
Yeah.
Where like if it's a certain distance, you have to actually shoot a little bit before. So like
yeah. You're trying to like guess.
you're like pre-shooting where you think they're gonna be, and like trying to like make these educated guesses about like what they're doing and like what they've done so far.
right.
Like how flustered they are, or if they're like super calm and collected, like what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I like caught myself doing a few similar things in Splatoon, like without even like thinking about it, where I was just like making different decisions, where it was like
Yeah.
a very like high level decision that like Splatoon didn't teach me to make.
Right.
It was like, oh, this is weird. I'm like better at Splatoon, a completely different game,
yeah.
just
By
having-
getting in a certain mindset.
just by having like this different thinking about, you know, a shooting game. And like what other game had I played that I'd found myself like a little bit better at? There was another example I can't think of at the moment, but like it's interesting how just that little bit of perspective shift can just improve seemingly unrelated things, and you're just
Yeah. That's cool.
better.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's a cool game.
It is a cool game. It's a really neat concept. It's cool how the game is like it I don't want to say it's meta, but it's like it's very much a game within a game in a certain way, or like the game is so much more than what it seems like at face value. Like the description of the game is 100 real players get dropped into an arena and the last person standing wins. You know, that's like the tagline or whatever. But the game is so much more than that. It's like, okay, well, there's a random chance that I might find a lot of supplies. And if I find a lot of supplies, I'm going to play this a certain way. Or if I don't find a lot of supplies, I'm going to play in a very different way. And then if I, get good luck on the way that the circle closes in, I can play more like defensively and strategically. Whereas if I'm in a bad position with the circle closing in, I have to play a little more recklessly, and it's like, and the rounds are really long too.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you really are like invested.
Yeah, you are.
In like each round if you're trying to win. And yeah, it's really unique. Like it's not just like another shooter. It's interesting how just changing a couple of key mechanics can make it like almost like a new genre. Like to me it's like debatably a new genre.
Well, and I think it's kind of accepted that like that and like Fortnite are kind of like the pioneers of the battle royale genre, like a new thing that's as of yet like untouched by the AAA title.
Yeah.
Like it's been exclusively smaller studios and like
I forgot about Fortnite.
Yeah. But like the same kind of thing where it's like you the area's closing in, but it starts out huge and you have to loot along the way. But yeah, it's interesting how like there's a lot of like, I don't know if I wouldn't say unintended, but like you wouldn't think of it at first.
The player expands upon the game.
Yeah, like if you, because the situation would arise where like
more advanced that like the game evolves with the player.
Yeah.
The more advanced the player gets, the game like follows it instead of the game just like topping out.
Yeah.
Because the game gives you so much like freedom and flexibility. So like if players are getting smarter, you have to get smarter too, or you just can't compete anymore.
Yeah.
Even though the game itself has not changed at all.
Well, and there's like interesting decision points where like if you don't get a lot of good luck or loot or like a good circle RNG, like you have to decide like, okay, am I just gonna get in a vehicle and just take my chances and hope I don't get killed along the way and just drive to the next best spot?
Yeah.
Or am I gonna go super risky and like high risk, high reward and say like, okay, well, if I kill someone, you get their loot, right?
Right.
And if you kill someone in the mid game, you have you could just
probably got a lot of
hit the
stuff.
jackpot.
Yeah.
You could just all of a sudden become very powerful.
Yeah.
But like your chances of winning any encounter are always, if they're equal skill, it's always going to be 50%. Like it's a huge
or
gamble
even less
every time.
if they have really good gear.
Or if they have better positioning, or if if they get the jump on you as opposed to the other way. So you can like, there's a lot of interesting things where you can do, where you can play super aggressive, you can play super passive, you can be sneaky, you could be overt. And in being overt, if you're doing it in a way where you're like trying to lure people to you, but they think you're being an idiot. And,
yeah.
There's a lot of like different levels of,
you're almost like
thinking
animal
that you
instinct comes into play.
Yeah.
Where like you see somebody doing something that's like, that might be a trap, but he also might have some stuff. Does he see me? And you're just kind of weighing out all this different stuff and playing it out and like deciding what you're gonna do.
Yeah, and that's what makes it fun to like play with someone.
It's like an action strategy game.
Yeah,
which is like not a thing.
That's why it's fun with like a person that you play, and like with Kyle and I playing it a lot. Like,
right,
we each, there'll always be points where it's like, you always do this, Kyle. Or like he'll make a decision, or like I'll make a decision, and it'll be like, we'll like give each other grief over it because like,
it kind of like screws the other person, or
where Kyle likes to like sometimes go off on his own and like just do something because it's what he wants to, because he just like wants to do that, and like, oh, he sees someone somewhere and he has to go pursue them. Yeah. And I'm like, Kyle, I'm like mom telling him.
Yeah, he's playing too risky.
Make sure you use the buddy system.
Yeah.
You don't go in the water yet. And it's fun and then I'll be like more timid or like risk averse, whereas he's just like, let's just fucking do
go
it
in there, man.
Yeah. And so we're like always
pretty similar to how he played Champions of Norath.
Yeah, but we'll always be like bouncing those things off each other too, and like consulting. It's interesting. It's very fun.
Yeah, that's another thing that totally changes that game. Like, if you're playing by yourself, you kind of just assume that every other player is on their own as well, and it's like every man for himself. But then once you introduce the idea that, oh well, these two players could actually be working together, then it's like, oh, it just like totally changes everything instantly. Yeah, because in duos, sometimes or obviously that more than two people could be working together too. Yeah, so it's like this is crazy.
It's really crazy in duos sometimes because people can join as an individual player and just go solo in a team or 4-person server. Oh, but then like sometimes you'll see a guy, right, and you'll see him and he's like, he might be alone and be like acting super aggressively just because he's already got the the short end of the stick because his teammate's dead or something. Yeah, and he's just like forced to act irrationally or like hyper aggressively because of that. And sometimes it's not the case, where he's just overconfident because his teammate's lurking somewhere, and then you go and like take out the guy who's obviously doing something stupid, what you think is careless, and then you get wrecked.
Yeah, you got baited.
Yeah, there's a lot of levels to it that I still have yet to delve into, and it's a hoot and a half.
Yeah, it's cool because like in some games people will figure out like a certain strategy or a combination of things that proves to be really consistent and effective, and then that will like top out at a certain point. Where it's like, okay, well, this weapon and this weapon together is definitively the best combination because you have this damage or whatever, and maybe you have like one counter to it. But then in a game like PUBG, it's like people will come up with a strategy. It's like, okay, well, we have the one guy stand over by the vehicle and move the vehicle around, and people come by, and then the other person snipes from far away. But eventually, like, that strategy will start to wear out because enough people will know about it that it won't work anymore. And it'll eventually start to flip around, and you'll have to, and then the new strategy will come along.
Yeah.
That sphere of the stratagem in the game will just continue to constantly cycle and rotate, which is really cool.
Well, it's also
all very like organic.
It's also interesting because like some people, so like there's almost, and sometimes like a curve to what a player knows about in the game. So if they come in completely fresh, like I did, without knowing anything about it, or like ideas or strategies, like when you're first doing it, you're just opening every door and going everywhere you can to loot stuff. But then, there's the higher order of thinking later in the game when you are like savvy enough to close doors behind you, to make it look like the building hasn't been entered,
right?
Or to leave them open, and then it becomes a decision point.
Right.
Do I leave it open and scare people off? Do I close it and make people think it's safe, and then, or do I close it to make it look unlooted, or it's like all these decisions that you can, because some people will run up to a door that's open and they'll just be like spooked. Beyond,
oh, someone's been here.
Someone's been here. We gotta go.
Yeah. So
and then
there could be someone in here waiting for me.
Yep. And then sometimes they'll see it open and they'll write it off completely. So it's interesting how complex it is the more you get into it, which is, it's cool to see in a shooting game where I don't think either of the people sitting on this couch would traditionally say the shooter is on the cutting edge of anything. But,
right. Well, it's also cool how the premise of the game is to be the last person standing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a bloodbath in order for you to win.
Yeah.
Like the first time I watched Bjorn play the game, he played for probably 5 minutes and didn't see another person. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the 5 minutes, he was already in like the top half.
Yeah.
Like you can play the game in so many different ways. Like, and playing to like kill as many people as possible, you probably won't win. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like that too. Like, being a person who doesn't typically like overly gratuitous violence in games, and like, oh, you win by killing the most people.
Yeah.
Like that's not attractive to me, but it's like being the last person standing and letting other people duke it out. Like, that's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. And most people probably don't kill more than maybe like 3 to 5 people at the most. Yeah. Even though there's 100 players.
There are some, and there's always like the exceptions where they're like, oh, they stream this every day and they just go berserk and like wreck people but then sometimes even they'll come across people who are still on that like higher order of thinking because they've played at least enough to know, and they still always have a fighting chance,
right? And there's enough random elements to spice it up.
It's cool. I did not expect to enjoy such a popular game and a shooting game so much, which are two things that usually send me the other way.
It's definitely caught a lot of people's attention as like a wild card, and that's pretty cool too. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if Puppers is gonna make it.
She's pacing.
She's pacing hard. I don't know if maybe she needs to go out. That's quite a possibility. Let me.
She's got an odd look on her face. Like she might need to. You can cast a line all you want, but sometimes a fish ain't biting. It's just the way of the world.
That is Vaughn's analogy for trying to get a dog to poop, I guess.
Yep. Nima ain't doing it.
Yeah, she ain't putting out.
Yeah.
Dude, Vidofner. You know what? Every time I see Vidofner, you know what I think of?
What's that?
So back in like early high school, me and my one friend were becoming very close and hanging out a lot. And there was this commercial that used to come on local TV for a local Volkswagen dealership. And I'm from Dallas, which is often referred to as the DFW Metro, Dallas-Fort Worth. And the name of this particular dealership was DFW VW. Mm-hmm. And then their website was www.dfwvw.com. So it's a bit of a mouthful, tongue twister.
Yep.
And their commercial, one of their commercials was just like a rapid fire of random people trying to say www.dfwvw.com as fast as they could. Mm-hmm. And there was this one infamous guy who looked like he was stoned out of his mind, and he would go and like just not even close, just miserable. And we would just crack up and die every time. And whenever I see Vidofner, I think of that guy going Vidav, like, I don't know, because he said like Vidabu.
Yeah.
And he was trying
Sounds like Vidofner.
He was trying to say www Vidabu instead of www.dfw. And that's what I think of every time I see the word Vidofner. I think of that guy saying Vidav and then going, oh, and like walking off the camera shot.
Poor guy.
And then I think, what amazing local television gems must I be missing out on?
Oh, here?
Anywhere.
Probably a lot.
Like, there's so many. You know, there almost seems like there would be like an infinite number of like local TV commercials that are like legendary to one person.
To the people, or to the people there.
That were like, you know, part of their upbringing or some specific time in their life. And, you know, it's like an inside joke that everybody in their circle would be able to communicate with. Mm-hmm. But just absolutely meaningless to somebody else. Mm-hmm. That could be from like the same generation, have the same sense of humor, but they've never seen it because they lived in a different state or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there are definitely things like that everyone knows, like...
Yeah, various jingles and like...
the same commercials from the local area.
Yeah.
That are just everywhere.
I feel like you talked about one, like, recently.
The Second Wind guy?
Not a long time ago. The Second Wind guy?
Yeah.
No, it was some, like... God, what was it? It had something to do with, like, old people dancing or something like that.
Oh my god, yeah, there's one of the local access channels, every whatever day of the week, they have they have like a polka dance, and it's always, you know, 70 pluses,
the oldsters
dancing to polka, but that's the show.
That's the program.
It's a polka band playing polka, and then all the old folks dancing.
Yeah.
And there's always like the one youngster who's been evidently recruited into the polka band by, you know,
his dad or something.
Yeah. And like, you always wonder, like, oh man, I just wonder, like, what if they're enjoying it or what's going on there.
Yeah.
If they're how they're enjoying it. I don't know. It just seems really odd to be. It's hard to imagine.
But was that story just the ridiculousness of that program, or was there something more to it than that?
There's certain people who find it really endearing. Like, my parents love it. They'll watch it. My mom will watch it. Like, my mom
she just watches the old people dance.
Yeah, she just had surgery and she's out of work for a little while.
Just recently?
Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't like a necessary to live surgery.
Lion's getting serious.
Comfort thing. Oh, there he is. Oh, this little strat. So we're using the long range spell that will always do half damage.
Oh, that's right. We wrecked him with this. It was totally cheap.
Yeah.
So 37 damage.
Padded stats like nobody's business.
Yeah.
He's got like 30 resistance, like 26 defense.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's not untouchable, but he's very strong.
He's like made to kill a couple of your characters.
Yeah. But with this nice long range spell that always does half HP damage.
Yeah, you just go right around
of everything else.
We hit him with it like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then we just walk up there and poke him.
Yep. Quick stab.
It's an amazing strategy. Because, yeah, we don't cross those stairs, I don't think. because it like triggers the people around him to swarm.
Yeah, there's a reinforcement point here somewhere that gets people from the top.
Yeah.
Which we don't want during this phase, because then it just pushes us back. But yeah, like my mom loves the concept. She sometimes watches it while she's
non-ironically.
Yeah, she just enjoys it. She enjoys I don't know, and then my dad kind of enjoys it a little bit, not to the same degree. But they both like enjoy it, and I'm just like, what is? I don't get it.
You feel like you're missing something. Yeah.
Yeah, and part of me thinks it's like, the kind of old-timey Scandinavianness, folksiness.
Yeah, it's just
kinda
there's something like homely and quaint about it.
That just makes it super appealing.
Warm.
But,
yeah. It's very warm.
But there is something
funny. There is something about like old people dancing that's just very like inherently like heartwarming.
Yeah. It's never like repulsed me. It's just always been like something like I can't just watch that.
Yeah, like it's just not entertaining to you.
She just thinks it's great, and like I think most people from the area of my parents' generation
are familiar with that
somehow
program.
Familiar with it from when they were younger.
Interesting.
Like it's been around for that long, I think.
The final blow.
I think we're about to deal it to.
Is it from Hudofner?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think so. Or is it? It might be Garrick.
Oh, got to get a heal in.
Oh yeah.
Just in case that experience comes in handy, you know.
Might need it. You never know.
Good job.
No turning back.
Good thinking, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Get Natasha involved.
I wonder why this playthrough turned out to be like a freaking million episodes.
Yeah.
No one knows.
What is
There's
this,
no
like
reason why.
48 episodes or something like that?
It's up there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of minutes. I mean, it's basically almost 48 hours.
Yeah.
We were talking about how this would stack up with Dark Cloud. I think Dark Cloud is like 50 something.
This seems right in the ballpark.
I just looked it up and put it on screen for some other episode recently. I'll have to do it again, I guess. I think it was Newt 1. I think it was the first Newt 1 episode.
Also, Lion's battle music is actually super fucking sick. If you ever hear that, boom, oh, so good.
I was like ironically using the word sick with my coworker today, and we were cracking up. He just like, I don't know, somebody said something and he was like, "Oh dude, that'd be sick." And I was, and then for some reason, and he wasn't being silly at all.
Yeah.
He actually meant it. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, "Oh, sick." And he was like, "Oh, sick." And we were just going back and forth.
Just escalating it.
Yeah. For like no reason. And it was pretty entertaining.
Oh, here's the return of the song.
Oh yeah, this is Vaughn's theme.
Yep. Yeah, it's not Lions anymore. As of this playthrough.
Live on.
Oh, nice. You could just chop off the bottom part of the Y.
Yeah, it's just an L and then a VON.
Yeah.
Your favorite spelling.
Oh, he loved her.
Of your name.
He just said it. And then dead. See ya.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh. What is it? What?
That's one of the like most widespread and accepted memes right now.
Is what?
Bye, Felicia.
It's coming back?
It's crazy how many people know it.
Oh.
And use it.
Oh, yeah. Weep for the dead, despair for the living.
What do you mean it's coming back?
I feel like the heyday of that was like a year ago.
Well, yeah, memes live a pretty short life. They live a fly's life.
Yeah.
Or a moth's life. They gestate for years and years and years, and then they like blossom into these beautiful creatures that flutter for like a day and then die. They live a locust's life.
Yeah.
Cicada's life.
Oh, so that's the Demon King.
The demon.
He's been resurrected.
The Daemon.
We gotta stop him.
Daemon. We're fighting against Daemon. Some dude named Daemon. Tall and hulking figure.
What was I gonna say?
Larakel.
Shoot. Oh, there's a great...
Use your booger hair.
There's a great moment coming up here that like I live for in every Fire Emblem game.
Oh yes, I remember you.
So
priming us for this.
Yep. So you take your crew with you from the last mission, the part 1 of this, and they stay in for this portion here, and then once once the mission proper starts, each one of the characters you've brought with you gives you, that final motivation.
Yeah.
To get you through to the end, and here it is.
It's a classic trope in Japanese games, actually.
I was going to ask if it was. It's because it seems like a very...
This happens at the end of Final Fantasy VII, I can specifically remember. There's like this crater that you jump into to go after the final boss, and it's like, all right, if we jump in here, we can't go back. Any regrets, and you have a chance to like back out to go buy items or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then once you say that you're going to go beyond the point of no return, like it goes around the horn and like every single character says like, we're going to do this, and says some like motivational thing. Mm-hmm. I can think of at least like 3 other games off the top of my head that do that. And it's always like towards the end.
It feels so good.
The like rally cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's especially when it's like, you have a large cast of characters, and that there's that one character that's like your favorite or the one that you really want to hear from, and then they say their thing and you're like, yeah. It's like when you're at graduation and like you wait like 6 hours for your family member's name to get called, and then you like yell
and then you just pop off so hard
for like 2 seconds and then shut up so the next people can do theirs.
Yep.
And it's like this disjointed wave going across a stadium that's not in order at all. I remember doing that for one of my cousins on my dad's side, and it was just like, that was literally what we were there for. There were so many of us. There was probably like 15 of us there, like aunts and uncles and cousins.
Oh, wow.
Like, all went to this graduation, and it was seriously in like this massive stadium. Like, there was thousands of students, and we're just sitting there for hours and hours. And our last name starts with C.
Oh, wow.
And we were still waiting for like hours. There's like a whole ceremony and a commencement, and there's the address, and then the very last part is like, all right, we're finally here. We were doing the names, we're finally, and and we've been there so long that everybody's like, I'm getting up and leaving when they get to D, I'm not sticking around for L, or whatever, like. And they're like, well, her friend's last name starts with a J, and we gotta wait for her. And someone's like, oh, But yeah, we're sitting there waiting for C, and it felt like forever. I can't imagine if your last name started with like an R or a W, all the frickin' Wilsons.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, graduations, I always seem to be like, okay, let's go here.
That's one of the only large graduations that I ever went to, though.
Been to a couple like university ones that are.
Yeah, this one was a college one.
Quite sizable.
Yeah. One of my older cousins was graduating from college, and it was before I was even in high school. And that one was enormo.
Enormo.
Yeah. So here, Vaughn, you should talk a little bit more about the strategy that you're doing here.
So, Demon King moves. He can only move 2 spaces, but then he also has uber powerful attacks.
Yeah.
One of which has the power to put everyone who's in range within 1 to 3 tiles to sleep.
Yeah.
And I don't think it has a chance of missing. I think they're just asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're gonna try to bait him to come up a little bit towards us so that he can also summon other monsters. So we don't want to rush in there now where A, he'll attack us, and then B, he'll summon more monsters who will also attack us in this choke point.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to lure him up a little bit and just stay out of his range for the first turn so we don't get walloped real good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool how you were describing it, because it's like he basically has like 4 different actions that he can do, and you can kind of like manipulate what he does depending on the formation of your character. Like, if you move into a range that he can attack, then he won't summon more monsters.
Yep.
And if you're out of range, then he'll summon monsters. So you have to kind of decide.
This turn he summons because there's nothing in range.
Right.
And so at this point, though, we've gotten ourselves close enough where we can, if we get rid of these monsters right in front of us, we can reach him.
Right. And start attacking.
Yep. And we haven't taken damage yet, so now we'll be able to bring more people to bear on him. But then also there's this... In a moment here, we're going to move up Mirror and put her in his range. And she's strong enough to take at least, I think, one hit only.
Yep.
And she's probably the only person.
Yeah,
she was our people who
she was our sponge.
Survive a hit from him because he's just he's a demon king.
Which is ironic because she has like some of the lowest HP out of all of our characters.
She does, yeah.
But it's because of her high res? Or was it high defense?
I don't know. I think
remember.
It's probably res for him.
That would make more sense, I would think.
But so she's like one of the only ones that can take a hit. So we're going to put her up there so that she gets attacked. But then that also... So the AI loves to attack anything that can't attack back. And since he has a move that can go from 2 spaces away, he can attack her without attacking back. And then, since they love to do that so much, he won't summon. He'll always choose
he'll choose to attack.
Yep. Because he's like, oh, I have a chance to hurt you without being struck back.
Yeah, so Vaughn's strategy here was to like keep him just at the right distance so that he would keep attacking.
So he's occupied.
And not creating more monsters.
Yeah. Because I don't think at this point anyone else can hurt Myr.
Yeah. Usually she doesn't take damage from any... That comes into play later on, I remember.
Yep.
Because you, like, moved up there, and the other monsters were, in range of attacking Myr, but you didn't have to worry because she couldn't get hurt by them.
Yeah, so the one...
See ya!
Whew.
Jeez.
Ross. The one interesting thing about this ending versus some other Fire Emblem endings... since we're fighting monsters, the monsters in these games have super low luck, like super low skill. Usually they miss a lot. They're usually really slow. So the stats overall for all of these enemies are actually like worse than that chapter where we were defending that choke point against the horde of people in the castle.
Oh,
a few missions back. Like
just the summoned monsters, you mean?
Yeah, these monsters I think probably have worse stats than like those human enemies that we fought.
Yeah.
Which is funny that this is the final mission, but
yeah, I guess they figure like you could be really weak from the previous battle and the main boss is super strong. So maybe they didn't want to make it too insane.
Yeah. And this is kind of thought of as one of the easier final bosses in the series.
It's like more of almost like a cinematic thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's super uncommon in Japanese games. I've seen that a lot too, where it's like there's a fight that kind of seems like it's the final fight and then you get surprised and it's like, oh, there's one more thing. And you're like, oh no, am I going to be able to make it? Only to find out that it's kind of more of like a set piece.
Yeah. Where you're
and it's really not that scary. Mm-hmm. It's just like exciting or whatever.
I mentioned this in a different series, but this company actually, Intelligent Systems, does a lot of good moments of that where it's like things kind of like guided things that work in the the mechanics of the game, but also serve like a strong plot purpose. Where like in Advance Wars Days of Ruin, there's this guy who's like one of your generals that you've had since like the beginning of the game, and he is super tough and like kind of like a just like a hardened warrior kind of guy. And see here, he's like, yeah, I have to attack. I can't.
God, he's huge.
Yeah. Myr's pretty big. She's a dragon.
Yeah. She's like, let me transform into a dragon real quick before you hit me with this huge beam. Demon beam. Oh, she can take 2 attacks.
Oh. She's tough, man.
Very tough.
But so there's this guy who you've had since the beginning of the game, and he's defending this bridge. Like you're on the army's on like its last whims, and it's being stretched too thin. You barely have enough to scrape by.
Oh wow.
And you're being pursued, and this guy is like, all right, well, I'm gonna get in this big tank, which is really strong, and I'm just gonna go on this bridge and and hold him off. And he's still like a controllable unit, but like at the start of your turn, every turn, he like overrides your commands and forces himself to like end his turn and just stay put. But you still feel like you have the power from what you're doing outside of that to like work quickly enough so that he can get away. So like it's like doing this cinematic thing where he's putting up this big last stand for you, but it's like in the context of the mission.
Right.
So you almost feel like you have control of it, but
yeah,
like not quite.
Yeah, and you like, oh, is there a way I can like manipulate it and save him? And
yeah,
and it like delivers it to you using the gameplay. Yeah, that you've already become familiar with.
Yeah, and it has like a really cool effect where you feel the pressure even more because you're taking actions to try to.
It is cool when that happens, where like instead of something being like a cutscene, it happens in gameplay, and it makes you and like even if maybe there is only one outcome, you feel more like you're like, oh, what if I, you know. And I guess some people might be disappointed that, oh, why give it to me that way if I can't actually affect it. But I don't know. To me, I think in general, it's cooler.
Yeah, it's still better than like the you fight someone in a battle and defeat them, but then you go to a cutscene when they're like 1% health. Yeah, and they actually beat you. Yeah, kind of thing. So yeah, see those questions. He has more than 80 HP.
Now he's legible.
Yeah. Now the scouter can read his power level.
Yeah. Nappa. Vote in the comments whether you prefer Chris Sabat or the other guy as Vegeta.
Didn't know there were two.
Start a flame war. Oh yeah.
Is it controversial? Or not? It's contested. Who's better?
Yeah, it's contested because like Chris Sabat's Vegeta changed like over time. Like the way he was doing his voice, I think just like deepened his voice because it was so strenuous on his larynx that it just stretched out his vocal folds from like growling all the time.
Yeah, because he's always got that derisive growl.
Yeah. And yeah, if you listen to Chris Sabat's Vegeta during like the Frieza saga versus like, you know, the Majin Buu saga, like at the end of Dragon Ball Z, it's pretty different. But yeah, there's the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z before the Funimation dub, and some of the Ocean voice actors were the same and some of them were different. And then the Ocean dub still had the old Japanese music that sounds really hokey and weird. And then the Funimation music was the badass music. The rips I have of DBZ on my computer, you can like choose all the audio tracks that you want. Like you can do Japanese voices, you can do the Ocean dub, or you can do the Funimation dub, and then you can choose the background music too. It's crazy.
There's like two different scores?
Oh yeah, completely different.
Oh wow.
Yeah, totally different. Have you ever watched the original Dragon Ball?
A little bit.
Like, you know, the music is kind of, it's like very Japanese sounding. It's like kind of 80s. Mm-hmm. Well, the original DBZ music was pretty similar to that. And it has the really like weenie sounding horns, and like some really basic synth stuff and electronic drums and like traditional Japanese instruments like mixed in, like shakuhachi and stuff like that.
Yeah, by the way, this staff just heals everybody.
Oh yeah, this spell is OP.
It's the Oprah heal.
The Oprah heal?
Yeah, you get a heal.
Oh,
you get a heal.
That's awesome.
She's just throwing them out to everybody.
But yeah,
under their chairs. Actually.
The Funimation background music is very like rock, and like totally different attitude. Because like
as opposed to like cinematic, kind of
cinematic and very Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because DBZ aired in like 1988 and 89 in Japan. Mm-hmm. It's old, but the Funimation dub happened in like the late 90s. So like musical trends were different too.
Yeah.
And technology was way different. So they made the music have the like turn of the millennium kind of sound. Like it's like heavy guitars with lots of effects, and it's super nostalgic to listen to now because like grew up on that. It's awesome.
God, just huge.
He's scary, man. Here he comes with the purple tornado.
Yeah, that would
He looks kind of like
probably be painful.
He looks kind of like Chaos, who was the final boss of the original Final Fantasy.
Oh, so the other thing, so sacred weapons are also super effective against monsters, so that helps with a lot of this.
Farewell.
We have quite a few sacred weapons.
Just watch him drain that.
Dude, Ephraim is a god.
Watch him freaking drain that health bar.
Ephraim's just
45
a freaking champ.
Some damage. Spidey.
Yeah, I don't know if it was in this episode or the previous one, but it was in one of these two missions, and he just like, Ephraim just wrecks somebody. Like they have like 67 HP.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no. He kills him in one hit. I don't even know if it was a crit, but he just destroys him.
I do not remember that.
What a beast.
He's
the
insane,
king.
dude.
He's the king now.
He is the king.
We forgot about that.
He is the Blade King.
The king of Renee.
Seems like a very, very young, aggressive king.
Mm-hmm. He's accomplished.
Yeah.
I mean, he might add to his resume a Demon King Slayer.
Just stabbing the Demon King.
Yeah.
With his spear. Siegmund.
Like doing comparable damage, too.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage.
Yeah. God.
The horse ain't scared.
I don't know if any other character.
Horse is like, you see who on my back? Yeah. You see who that is?
Oh, he's like hyping him up.
Yeah. The horse is the hype man.
Oh, man, I love that. Sometimes you just need a hype man.
It's true. Absolutely. I gotta go check. I gotta go get that puppers.
That puppers, okay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Okay. All right.
Oh, hey.
We have returned.
Sorry, I'm crinkling. Oh.
Vaughn is...
Jersh is...
taking the last ho-ho.
Putting in some work here on the Spidey. He's got the... I don't know if I described the Brave Sword. The Brave Sword can do up to 4 hits.
Oh, is that why he got 4 hits?
Yeah. So the Brave Sword always does 2 attacks, where you would have done 1 before.
Oh, I see.
So if you're doubling,
if you have the speed double, then you get 4.
Yep.
That is cray-cray.
It's pretty cray.
I'm gonna have a final piece of this chocolate.
You should.
Even though my throat is already burning.
En fuego.
It's true.
I think we are in killing range, folks.
Dude, we're about to strike. We're about to put the final hurt on this king of demons.
Is it gonna be Garrick? I think it's gonna be Garrick.
It is Garrick, I remember.
Spoilers. Holy frick.
Actually, wait. Maybe it's not.
Naomi might be able to do it with her sacred bow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Garrick.
It's Garrick.
If he hits. Let's see. Sacred sword. Boom!
Farewell, King of Demons. And then
4 motifs.
4 flips on the way out.
Just cartwheeling.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like dissolving.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Little did we know, the Demon King was polar.
It's over. We fucking beat the game.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Again.
Yeah. We've already seen this once, but the power.
We beat we beat the game, and now we have watched ourselves beat the game again.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a unique experience.
It is. Watching ourselves beat a game.
Like, it's weird because, you know, if you just look at it, the abstract or objectively, we're just sitting here watching this game footage and talking. But because we know that it's our gameplay and that there's this muted audio that sounds like gobbledygook, and we kind of have a rough idea of how we felt when we did it before and the things we were talking about, it makes it kind of take on this new spin. And then, you know, it makes it feel like a kind of like a redo, but like a little different than a redo.
Yeah. Because it's like kind of like a rehash.
Yeah. Yeah, originally we weren't sure how we were gonna do this.
I was nervous about it.
Deucel! There he is, the Deuce. God, he's so rugged. It's insane. That's true.
He is so rugged.
His jawline and his brow line are just like the most masculine thing you've ever seen. Just the like jutting jawline and then the super low brow line. Like, he's like Dirty Harry.
He's probably got that Sean Connery
and Sean.
too.
He's Dirty Harry and Sean Connery mixed together.
Sean Connery.
Junior. Jesus. You make for that bracken and I'll hold them off. The most legendary line I've ever heard in any movie, ever. Pussy, you make for that bracken over there and I'll hold them off.
I was going to give Seth the voice.
Yeah. We know that's what you guys want, is to hear Seth mumble. Oh, it's the Stud Squad.
Yep.
So, which one of us is the most good looking? Well, I'm not sure, Ford. I'll have to decide. We'll be beside you through it all.
They've just got this super American
John Wayne accent. Epilogue.
That's it.
Dude.
Back in Roaston.
If I remember correctly, this is a pretty lengthy epilogue.
It is, yes. We've got some minutes yet to go.
Yet to go, baby.
But we did it.
Dude, I would be ever so delighted if you joined my tea club. I would absolutely join a tea club.
She said tea club?
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah.
I'd love to have some tea with Lurico.
Yeah, absolutely. Like to have some S with her as well.
I see. What about that? Oh, I have to mention something to you.
Please.
I was very tempted to. Okay. So when you have two flying units, like Cormag and Tana, and insert two flying units here in other Fire Emblem games as well.
Okay.
It's very easy for them to spend a lot of time together because they might be the only two who get to a certain position.
Yeah, they go to the same place.
So then, if they both cross the mountain range, they'll be spending a bunch of time together.
So they naturally ship.
And I went out of my way to ensure that Cormag did not ship your girl Tana.
Well, gee.
So,
thanks, man.
She is as of yet unclaimed.
Oh, she's claimed.
Oh, she is claimed. Sorry.
She is chased.
She's already claimed. The Rouston of Rouston has laid claim.
I have made my selection.
He's a suitor.
Yes, I am the sole suitor. She'll have no choice. All other suitors have been staved off or murdered or stopped in some way. Diverted, distracted. So that I will appear as the only suitor. Dude, my nose is being ravaged.
Right now? Like,
just of late.
Okay.
That's
not good.
It's so dry right now.
Dude, my lips have been taking the brunt, I think, so far.
Oh, absolutely.
This winter.
Like, I mean, I have pretty naturally dry skin because I was raised in a humid climate. So my skin learned to be like, oh, we don't need to make a lot of moisture because it's in the air. And then I moved to a really dry climate and found out why on earth people would ever use things like lip balm. It's the credits. Oh, Rip Iwata.
Iwata. We love you.
We do.
We love you.
Great man.
Oh.
And what was I saying? Oh yeah, I've been having to put like Aquifer or like Cetaphil like inside my nasal passages.
Been there.
Like
that's the worst. That's when because it's like it gets up inside there, like it's cracked all the way up.
Oh yeah, and
on the inside.
You can just feel all the like scabs inside of your nose.
It's rough, man.
It's God. Why does anyone live here?
It's
just amazing.
Lately, like especially this winter, I've just been wondering, like, what are we doing here?
Every winter, I'm just like, who put the flag in the ground?
Like, Leah's in San Diego right now, where it's like between 60 and 80, or like 50 and 80 year round.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. I could make that work.
That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
And instead, we're here buried in snow.
I don't
shoveling out
care about
our lives
my 4
every
seasons or whatever. You know, people always make as an argument. It's like, well, you won't have any variety in your weather. It's like, well,
and then you'll be sad.
That's great, because then I can like plan for things and not have to account for like random acts of God.
Yeah. You could schedule something in May and it won't snow.
Right.
Isn't that's crazy?
Yeah.
Or it won't
versus
be like
scheduling something here in March or April, and it's like, well, I have absolutely no idea what the weather will be like.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You're trying to be in like a softball league?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the first 7 games might be miserable because it's 30 degrees.
Yeah, it might snow a foot, or it might be like 35 and raining.
Yeah, I've had...
Or it'll be gorgeous.
I've had softball games canceled, not because of a soaking wet field from rain, but a soaking wet field from snow.
Yeah, sleet.
It's dumb. And you bring up an excellent point, but I was born here, and I haven't left yet. I definitely want to get out.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Absolutely.
And see the greener grass on the other side.
Yeah, that's true. You've never lived in another state, right?
Oh, that is Erica on the right there.
Is it?
Yeah, because they used this. She was also clasping Joshua's mother when she was on the ground. It was the same color scheme. It just looks very different here.
Yeah.
I think at some point she had darker blue hair as opposed to like the lighter.
Like in the official art or something?
Yeah, at some point in the development stage.
Weird.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Here's how long it took.
This is the last thing. This is the deer force.
See if you can guess which one was Carlisle.
Oh my god. It's that one.
Yeah, there it is.
68 turns. Or whatever the heck that was.
That's a lot of turns. This is probably a super inflated number because I was...
Oh my god, yeah. All of the like back and forth and stuff like that. Like, nope, not that.
Oh, so now you're seeing here, B is how many fights Seth took place in?
Yes, that's how many like engagements.
Yep.
Not like how many overall battles, but like how many individual encounters.
Yeah, one-on-ones. And then the W is the kills and the L is the losses.
Yeah, which basically if there's anything for L, it just means that the character died.
Mm-hmm. So now we're just gonna get a little, you know.
Yeah, you get to see
epilogue to everyone's journeys here.
You get to see how many like the
guild putting up a wall 160 times.
The ratio, the ratio of how often they kill versus how often they engage, which is interesting because like you'll see some of the stronger characters actually have lower ratios, and then the weaker characters have lower numbers overall, but then they have a higher ratio
because you never want to get attacked back.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a testament to Vaughn's cautious playing.
Yes.
I think we had one character where all their kills were one-hit KOs.
There was, yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but we'll find out very shortly. Oh, Vanessa.
Rest in peace.
Our very first...
She died at It's a Trap.
Our very first loss. Oh, that's right. If they ship, it shows them together.
Yeah. That fucking destroyed me.
It sucked.
That gasp is so like unscripted and just like painful to listen back to. It hurts.
I won't soon forget that session.
Yeah,
because that was one of the later sessions
at the old house.
At the old house, and we were like playing super late at night.
Oh my god!
One final one. Man. Yeah, that was one of the later sessions at the old house, and we were playing super late at night, and we were trying to be like super quiet because we had already like...
Well, we were also tired, so we were also kind of quiet for that reason.
Right, but then we had like already gotten in trouble.
Rest in peace, Colm. Yeah, that L1 is so ominous.
It is. And the like grayed out sprite.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a lot of engagements. 215.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was a lot of poking and prodding from a distance.
Yeah. That's one of the... Is that the highest we've seen so far?
I think so,
Is anybody above 215?
And we got her really early in the game, so...
Yeah, Gilliam was like 159. No, Archer.
Rest in peace.
The only character
Less
that we
upset
lost that we don't even really
about
care
him.
about. He
Yeah.
died in the freaking grinding stage.
Poor guy.
Whatever. Lute.
Someone loved him.
Yeah, Mrs. Frizzle.
Got him.
Slain.
What were we saying?
I don't remember.
Me neither. Well,
I like how she's peeking through the words
prodigy.
there. Oh,
These two.
Derek and Joshua.
I don't think they shipped, but they had a support,
Oh, okay.
so they're just.
Yeah,
kind
they're
of
not. They're not
duo.
smooching. They're just.
No, they're not.
They're
They're
just
not
buds.
smooching. I think Garrick's still got it in his heart for Marissa.
Oh yeah. What happened to Marissa?
I mean,
She just like part
she
ways
got up to
with
like
the party.
No, she got up to level 20, but we couldn't.
We didn't
Joshua's-
use her at all.
We used her up until like level 20.
Yeah,
But Joshua's stats were just better for the end game, so
I don't even
we
remember
had to kind of
seeing her
pick and choose.
during this.
I don't think she's come up yet.
But I mean, from last time, I don't remember.
Ardent
I
Knight.
totally
Ardent is a lovely word.
It is a good one. I mean, it basically just means determined,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Or kind of like just.
Yeah. Yeah, like determined in like a
Dude, there's your queen.
holy kind of way. My
Your-
queen?
Your winged queen.
Dude. Yes. I like that.
I think if I had to choose someone from Sacred Stones, I think I would definitely. It would be either. Names.
She's playing.
Either Larakel or Marissa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seren, we used her like once,
6 times actually. Austin, come on.
but that was probably like
Actually-
one mission.
Yeah, it was the mission we got her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's your
Dussel.
your sister-in-law there.
There he is. Dussel.
Dussel do ya?
God, his face, his countenance is
Yeah.
just
Unbelievable.
remarkable.
He's just so.
He's so gruff.
Yeah, I was just about to
And
say
rugged.
gruff. Yeah. He does have some wisdom in there.
Oh yeah. Noel.
He saw some action at the end there. He was kind
did.
of the unsung hero with
Yeah,
that,
he came-
that crazy
he came
distance
in-
attack.
He came in late.
Nightmare or
but
whatever it was.
Yeah, we would have had such a much harder time with
Eclipse.
Lion without that spell.
Yeah. And I think
He cut his health
We
down
used
to
it-
a freaking fourth.
we used it on one of the Necro Dragons too.
Yeah, that's right. I think
Cormac
we used it
was
on both of them actually.
In the second.
When there was
Yep.
2 of those guys, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we used it on both of them.
Cormac is one of my favorites. He's just.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a solid dude.
He's a solid dude, you know.
And he's got that mystery around him because
Yeah.
he disappears into the. He doesn't want the spotlight, so he just disappears, gets off the radar, and returns as a nobody, a
Oh,
commoner.
that's right. He like rejoins the military as a common soldier.
Yep.
I remember reading that.
She never lost her unique perspective on life. Oh, okay.
Dozla, 1 for 1, baby.
Yeah. That's a hundo. Clean.
1 chop, 1 kill.
You were saying last time that we thought we had used him more, and
I know.
I was kind of thinking that too.
It seems like we did. It seems like we were like just hooting and hollering for him for a while. Rinnick. He's pretty cool.
Yeah. That hair.
Dude, that hair is
That band.
that hair is amazing.
Yeah.
I would totally have that hair.
He rocks it real hard.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
With his little circlet.
No, he's not rocking me real hard. He's just rocking it.
Tethys.
Oh, I forgot about her. She's bae.
beloved by all. Beloved dancer.
Yeah, she. You know what? It did the trick for everyone.
Yeah.
Her dances.
So why does her say battles 4? That's the number of times she got attacked?
Yeah.
Got it. Ewan. With his little side ponytail.
Yeah.
McGregor style.
He's kind of got like the Padawan thing
He does.
dangling back there.
Well, and he's a student. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Oh my god, did they plagiarize? I wonder if that's copyrighted. Goof.
Oh, there's Marissa.
Yeah,
the Crimson Flash. That's what she calls her time of the month. Comes through real quick. Aggressive.
Oh, man.
Soleil.
He got
Methuselah.
wrecked. He got wrecked so hard by Kalik.
He really did, yeah. Well, that's right. It was a really strong
one-hit
character.
critical. Just
So there's
destroyed him.
There's Myr with a close to 1-to-1 engage to kill
Yeah.
ratio.
Well, like almost half of her non-kills were with the Demon King himself, so
Yeah.
we'll let those slide. Oh, look at him in all his fucking glory. The true hero of this playthrough, honestly.
Restoration King.
Like, he didn't even need to, he didn't really try. Like, he didn't even have like specifically amazing levels up.
He's the true aloof lanceman.
He is, yes. Yeah, he has no bay. We didn't give him a bay.
That's true. Erica and Ford.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Ford deserves, he deserves some royalty in his life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to pan out, man.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I mean, there's just such a gap between their classes.
What are you trying to say? You got to be born royal to...
I'm just
to get
saying
the
it
royal?
doesn't usually work.
You ain't no prince. Going after Tana. Who do you think you are?
She's a princess?
Yeah. She's
man.
Innes's sister.
See, I should get her because I didn't even know she was a princess and I loved her anyways.
That's true. Yeah, and you didn't serve her, so there's not that weird.
But I would.
You would. You'd sign up.
I would sign up.
Oh, man.
I'd get on that email list. Well, folks,
This has been Fire Emblem Sacred Stones.
again,
Yes.
beating it for the first time, a second time. How about that?
Well, thank you for joining us on this
This year,
long journey.
Almost year-long journey.
We really hope you enjoyed it, because if not, you were only getting 2 series a week for a whole year. But
It's never been put so flatly before.
if only for my sake, thank you.
Yeah.
This has been something I've wanted to do for a long time. Just do a Fire Emblem game without resetting. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we did.
It was cool.
We lost some heroes
We did.
and some bays.
Well, Monde Vonde will continue in year 3. Other than that, you'll have to check out the announcement video to find out what's in store for you.
Should be seeing one soon.
Yes, and we'll be taking a little bit of a break to get ready for that.
I think we deserve it.
I hope we do. Stick around for Cuphead on Fridays until we get that one finished up.
Yep.
We're really close. And otherwise, hit us up on Twitter, say hello. We've got the snack log
On the Instagram.
on Instagram to show off our snacks and sodas that we're tasting.
Might be doing like a year 3 kickoff stream or something.
Yeah, we're hoping to get back on
Year
Twitch.
2
That Twitch horse.
roundup.
Yeah.
something like that.
The year in Re2.
Yeah.
But we'll catch you in the next thing, folks. And this has been Fire Emblem.
Sacred Stones.
The stones. Bring me the stones.
Finn.
Fine. It kind of looks like an H.
It does. It's a very like ornate.
Finn.